The Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
I move an amendment to Ms Fitzharris's amendment. Do I have to seek leave then?
Is leave granted? Okay, leave. Okay. You can speak to the motion,
Yep.
and then it will circulate as you speak. Thank you.
I found it very
Ms. Lauder.
interesting. Thank you, Mr Assistant Speaker. Excellent suggestion from Ms Lakuta regarding the information about bus services and Uber services, and it's something that unfortunately we don't have a lot of information on, unlike the information that we are seeking about the bus services. You know, people write to us as members in this place all the time about bus services and the type of information that they would like to see. Weekends and weeknights are the most common complaints that we hear. People who talk about the fact that, for example, in my electorate, someone I know who lives in Benithan writes to me frequently about the difficulties he faces in getting a bus home from Raiders matches at the stadium up at Bruce. It takes him a reasonably short time to get to the match, but a very convoluted time to get home. In another instance, one of my constituents talks about a bus that goes sort of straight past his suburb, which, if it was enabled to go into his suburb, he would be able to get to where he wants to work much more quickly. So it is interesting, and it's, you know, we often talk about in this place as evidence-based policy, having the best possible evidence available to us to enable us to make decisions, and information on things like the take-up of Uber is an example of that. Having said that, I would like to move the amendment circulated in my name. We got there eventually.
Ms. Lauder.
Thank you. I am in agreement, and I always find it difficult when I come to this point, but I am in agreement with Ms Lakuta's suggestion that we seek information about the take-up of Uber. Therefore, I move the amendment in my name, which seeks to get that information included into the amendment circulated by Ms Fitzharris, to provide whatever information she can from the government's perspective. I understand that it may be somewhat of a challenge, but this is the type of information about Uber that would feed into the decisions she makes as the Minister for Transport about bus services. So I'm sure the government must have some form of information about Uber services and their take-up in Canberra, and I urge members here to support that amendment.
The question is that Ms Lauder's amendment to Ms Fitzharris's amendment to the motion be